The 80s, when TV wasn't just entertainment, it was a way of life. No binge watching, no rewinds, and if you missed an episode, well, tough luck. You had to wait for it to be repeated, which could be in a couple of weeks, couple of months, or even potentially a couple of years. Who knew? Today we're diving into the 1980s UK TV shows we loved and those that we may have completely forgotten. Let me know in the comments below, what was your favourite 80s TV show and how many of these on this list do you remember? So in the first section, we're going to look at the TV shows that we loved. First up, the legends. These are the shows that had an entire generation glued to their screens week after week, month after year after year. First up, we've got Only Fools and Horses. This televised 1981 to 2003. It doesn't get any more iconic than this. Trotters, Del Boy, Rodney, Grandad and later Uncle Albert. Dodgy deals, Peckham Market and some of the funniest moments in TV history. Some of the famous parts were Del Boy falling through the bar, possibly the best sitcom moment ever, and was totally improvised by Del Boy himself.
I think we're on a winner here, Tree. All right? Play it nice and cool, son. Nice and cool, you know what I mean?
We had Batman and Robin running through an alleyway on a Halloween party. We had the chandelier scene with Rodney and Del Boy trying to clean an heir's chandelier, and with Grandad untightening the wrong one, causing the wrong chandelier to crash to the floor. Hilarious. This time next year we'll be millionaires, remember. David Jason originally auditioned for Dad's Army. Imagine if he'd got that instead. I don't think Only Fools and Horses would have been as good as it was, or as popular as it was, if David Jason didn't take the lead role and make Del Boy his own character. Next up, we've got Grange Hill, which televised from 1978 to 2008. School was tough in the 80s and Grange Hill showed it in all its true colours. We had bullies, we had detentions and of course the legendary Just Say No campaign. We had the fork on the sausage scene, we had Roland versus Gripper, absolute TV classic after school. Samuel's drug storyline, still one of the most powerful moments in kids TV history. Just Say No music video was a hit. They even went to America to the White House and met Nancy Reagan. Fun fact was, Ant McPartlin from Ant and Dec from Biker Grove, he auditioned for Grange Hill, but he didn't get the job and ended up in Biker Grove. It wasn't quite as good as what Grange Hill ever was. Next on the list, we've got The Young Ones, 1982 to only 1985. Anarchy, violence, exploding hamsters, The Young Ones had it all. Young Ones turned sitcoms upside down. Rick Mail was a genius. Ade Edmondson, Nigel Planer and Alexis Hale brought us some of the wildest, most surreal comedy ever. As a child growing up watching The Young Ones, it was magic. It really was. Some of the funniest scenes were Vivian biting off his own head, the house blowing up and they continued to live in it, the bomb in the kitchen, Rick's love for Cliff Richard, and every episode had a live band including Motorhead and The Damned. One of the funniest episodes I can remember was when they went on to University Challenge.
Standing at 25 to nothing. Here goes.
I'm completely bloody sick of this! Give us some easy ones, Brandy! You big bottom ball!
Relax, we can handle this. Vivian.
Achtung!
It's not an automatic.
Okay, Bambi, let's hear another.
The BBC wasn't sure about The Young Ones when it first came out until it became a cultural phenomenon and led to an alternative comedy exploding from the likes of Ben Elton and Alexis Sale. Next up, we've got Nightmare. This televised 1987 to 1994. This was the most terrifying kids game show ever. Blindfolded kid, aka a Dungeoneer, had to be guided by their mates, dodging dragons, traps and the dreaded life force meter. Sidestep to the left, no, the other left, no, right, and then fall down a pit or get eaten by a dragon. We all remember it. The life force skull melting genuinely was scarier than most horror films at the time as it slowly ticked away and the eyeballs rolled out. Then we had Treguard's catchphrase, "Ooh, nasty."
Step forward. Run. Quick, run.
Ooh, nasty.
As they perished, some of those kids were never seen again. Nightmare used early CGI effects, cutting edge at the time, but today it kind of looks like a dodgy PowerPoint. Next up on the list, we've got Bergerac, 1981 to 1991, a detective show like Miami Vice, but shot in Jersey, one of the Channel Islands. John Nettles solved crime in a leather jacket and his red Triumph Roadster, and always seemed to have time for a drink. The car chases up and down the streets, even though Jersey had a maximum speed limit of about 50 miles an hour, never seemed to stop them. Bergerac's love life, every week a different woman, and Charlie Hungerford, the lovable rogue millionaire. The Bergerac car still exists, and it's in the Jersey Motor Museum. If you ever go to Jersey, go and check it out. Now in the next section, we're going to look at the TV shows from the 80s that you may have forgotten. Hands up who remembers some of these gems. First up, we got Teabag. This was shown between 1985 and 1992, a magical tea-drinking villain causing chaos across time and space. Sounds ridiculous, and it was. Famous moments where every season a different quest, finding a crystal, finding a clock, a teapot, something totally random. T-shirt, a sidekick, a kid, help stuck, helping her every time. Georgina Hale, who played Teabag, loved scaring kids, and it made her character even more nastier. Sadly, Georgina did pass away in January 2024, but she was a fantastic character on the show. Okay, the next one. I don't recall this one. This was in 1984, so 1 year only. It was called Chucky. A kid hearing voices from an alien intelligence. This was kid sci-fi, but genuinely quite terrifying, apparently. Famous moments was Chucky controlling technology, mind-blowing back in the 1980s. Fun fact, this was written by the guy who created Day of the Triffids. That explains why it was quite creepy. Next up, we've got The Adventure Game, 1980 to 1986.
Would that
Do you
be?
think anything happens when you...
Well, now the red light's gone off now you walked over there, Sheila. Does that make any difference?
No.
You've got to come back. There is a button on it, though. Can you press the black button, Sheila, and see if it says anything?
Every time you walk over there, it goes off.
Goes out.
Turn on the life bell. Didn't work.
A game show with celebs, puzzles, and an alien overlord that turned losers into dust. Famous moments are the Vortex puzzle, right at the end. How to get from one side to the other in a kind of space hopscotch. Celebs getting vaporized. We still don't know where they went. The fun fact is, Vortex effect was just a ball on a computer screen, and it looked futuristic in the 80s. I remember the Adventure Game vividly. A lot of people I speak to just don't seem to remember it. It bypassed them. It was the precursor to things like the Crystal Maze. Alright, so that's our trip back to the 1980s UK TV, but I want to hear from you. What was your favourite 80s show? Which ones do you think should make a comeback? Please hit like and subscribe if you love this nostalgia trip. Subscribe for more 80s goodness and ring that bell so you don't miss a trip down memory lane. Whilst you're here, why don't you want to check out this latest video about the top 10 kids TV shows? See if you agree with the top 10. Thanks for watching. Go and watch and rewind some 80s classics. Cowabunga, dudes.